everyone. Hey, guys. Super excited to be coming to you with yet another episode of the Speak Easy podcast, where we go behind the scenes and talking about what it means to be the successfully paid speaker and author. But I want to speak directly to every entrepreneur with this particular episode. Why? What does the career rehab really look like after quarantine? I mean, reality check. There are so many people that are like, I want to get back to the way things ... used to be. And then you have the other half saying, I'm ready for my ... new normal. So we're kind of at a fork in the road. Will it be a new normal, or will it be going back to things as usual? That's why I'm super excited for our guest that we have on today's show. I want you to share this out. Every entrepreneur you know will need to listen to this episode, because we're going to take off all the blinders. We're not holding anything back. If it's on the table, we're going to talk about it. Why? Because I want to see you guys succeed. So with that being said, let me tell you something. I want to hear from you. Join the conversation. bit.ly/World Voice Community. Join the conversation so that way we can hear your side of this particular topic. And with that, let's jump into today's topic. So I'm really hype about this. And okay. From a single mother's perspective, I'm good. As a single mom who's an entrepreneur, I love my children. I know not all parents can honestly say that. I love my children. I've taken on some new titles. Barista. I'm in here making tea. I'm in here, paying attention to tests and so many different things. But when we think about the career path, for, I guess, people around the globe, we can actually say it's about to change if it has not already changed for many. And so I'm super excited about our guest today. Hello, Kanika. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I'm excited to have this discussion with you today. So let the studio audience know a little bit about you, and then we'll dive in.
Okay, so my name is Kanika Tolver. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area, and I am the author and CEO of Career Rehab. So I am a career coach, speaker, and author. I also have been in the IT professional space for over 15 years. I work for the federal government as a senior project manager, but I'm super excited to be on this show specifically talking about my career coaching experience and some of the things that we can offer you guys that may want to go into career rehab or want to rehab your careers during this COVID-19 era that we're living in right now and for the future to come.
So that literally starts us off in a perfect spot. Where do we start when it comes to us being in the middle of COVID-19 and saying, okay, do I go back? Do I attempt to go back to a job? Do I try to start a business? What's the first step in even attempting a career rehab?
The first attempt is to really focus in on the rehab you evaluation. That's really just asking yourself some hard questions. And in my book, Career Rehab, I really talk about how we have to go through this evaluation and do some self-reflection. Everybody's situation is individually different, and we can't, based off starting a business right now, off of what's hot, cute, and popular right now. We may need to base our decisions off of what is necessary to take care of our families. So going through that process is asking yourself, do I have the know-how to transition into a new job? Do I have the skill sets? Do I have the understanding of what I want to build for my business as far as the products and services? If you already have an existing business, it may be good to continue on and pivot and maximize, digital technologies and e-commerce to get more customers. But if you are a person who basically is in the position where you kind of still work a 9 to 5, you may want to reevaluate that, and you may want to kind of do that 9-to-5 / side hustle right now during COVID-19 until your business is at a stable state. So it's just going through, just assessing yourself, assessing your situation with your kids, your significant other, whether you're single or married, and figuring out, is it a good time to do that right now? And then building a plan based upon that assessment.
Ooh, that takes us to another good point, because when we think about a career path, the career path typically always included education. And right now we're in such a disarray. Our seniors are not having a regular senior year. Our juniors are kind of in a sway with what they're going to do with SATs. Colleges, what are they going to do coming in? So from your perspective, when it comes to the educational piece of it, do you see this being almost, I don't want to say the downfall of the college institution, but...
That's a great question. So over the years, I took the traditional education route by going to Bowie State University and getting a 4-year degree in computer technology. But what I've seen over the last couple of years in my career coaching practice, and even being a woman in tech, I have seen the shift to people are not focused 100% on going to a 4-year institution anymore, because there are so many professional certifications. There's so many programs that are online, and there was programs that you could go to where you can get skilled up really quickly and you could land a job within certain industries, whether it's blue collar or white collar jobs. So I do foresee that the excitement and the enthusiasm from senior high school students, they're not going to want to go and do remote learning because they wanted to go for the college experience, right? So the consumer experience for the average parent, the average child dropping their kid off at college, that's going to be over with for probably 12 to 24 months to come. You're not going to be able to the next fall semester that's coming up, because they was in spring semester when this happened, but the fall semester may be canceled as far as going and staying in the dormitory. So I would recommend to some parents and some students to really think about non-traditional ways of getting education that could possibly save you money until this passes over. Or if you still want to enroll in a traditional institution online, definitely think about not paying all that room and board and that food. And you should be thinking about, like, are you getting a pay discount?
That was a big fight. And oh my goodness, what was the first university? NYU, I think, was the first university that had a huge fight about, okay, listen, especially because we in performing arts, I didn't pay for this. I didn't pay for a video. I paid my money to be in a class to learn amongst peers. And I think that was the biggest thing, was that they don't have that same peer interaction.
No, and I don't think that interaction is going to be something that's going to start up fast. I think that we have so many unknowns, so many more testing to do as far as there's so many of us that are at home that could have it and could not have it, and we just don't know. So I think just throwing a bunch of kids back into a huge population at colleges, it may be a bad idea, and maybe parents may be fearful. They may be even fearful to let their kids go back into huge crowds within colleges and institutions, because they don't really know, like, where this kid been, and there's a lot of international backgrounds in college. All of us are coming from different walks of life. But one thing I did, someone sent me a direct message recently, and they asked me about internships. This is for your senior college graduates. They were like, well, I'm scared about the job market. I'm scared about getting internships. Do not allow that to discourage you. Still apply to jobs. Jobs are still going to be hiring online. Jobs are still going to be onboarding. Jobs are still going to be happening. You're just going to have to think differently about attending virtual career fairs, You're going to have to think differently about networking online as far as connecting with people on LinkedIn, recruiters and hiring managers. So I would still search for internships and I would still apply, because if we're doing remote learning for college, I know that opportunities are still going to be out there for virtual and remote opportunities through the traditional hiring process.
That was a very good point. We did see a shift in speakers. We saw a shift for entrepreneurs. We saw a shift for everybody that moved to this online superhighway, right? And it's funny because when I look at the high school students do not like online. They like apps. They don't like online.
Well, this is the part where we're about to go into. Smartphones. We have conditioned our children to use them in non-smart ways. So high school students have been conditioned to use their phones for garbage. So they have not been built to be resilient enough to know that the internet, before me and you had smartphones, we were so infatuated with Google, with Yahoo search engines, and being able to search. We were so addicted to the information like you could find on the internet. They're so addicted to what they can post, what they can like, what they can watch via video, whether it's fighting. So now we're training them to be conditioned to use tablets, laptops, and smartphones for the use of educational purposes. And I blame the parents. I blame the parents, because parents have put these devices in their hands. They have not been monitoring these devices. And now you have to tell a kid that's used to sitting into a classroom, be resilient enough to sit in front of a computer and finish your classwork, finish your homework, finish your projects, search, do research, write papers. And now these parents have been saying, here's your phone because I want to know where you're at all times. But the child has been doing unethical things on the phone prior to COVID-19. That's all I'm going to say.
You just going to drop the mic like that. Woo. Okay. I told you, listen, Speakeasy Podcast listeners, I told y'all that we would not hold anything back. So when it comes to career rehab, all of this is a part of it, because the other piece that people are really kind of antsy about is the fact that if we don't have our seniors going to college and we have all of these people that just lost their jobs, what is that going to look like in the job market?
Very good question. So one thing that I wanted to talk about in career rehab in the book, this is the time to turn anxiety into accomplishments. This is a time to turn our anxiety. Parents have anxiety. Job seekers have anxiety. College students and high school students have a lot of anxiety about the unknown. But this is an opportunity to take that energy and turn that anxiety into accomplishments. For my job seekers, let's start with the job seekers first. This is an opportunity to learn a lot of new skill sets through Udemy, through lynda.com, through LinkedIn Learning, through YouTube, through attending free webinars that are all on Eventbrite, all on meetup.com. This is the time, if you're a job seeker and you don't have a skill set, you don't know a certain technology, this is time to grab hold of this extra time that you're complaining that you're bored and complaining about you're tired of, watching Netflix, you watched everything on Netflix. This is the time to maximize this time to spending 1 to 2 hours a day, learning a new skill set that you can put on your resume so you can apply to that job. For my seniors, this is a slight career shift. This is a mindset shift for far as the way they think about their career. This is a career shift in a whole nother way, because now they're like, I lost out on all this fun, and now you want me to think about being serious about school and finding a job. Like, no, Mom, this is not what I signed up for, Dad. I signed up to go to college so I could party. But this is a time for you guys to really learn how to use technology in the most effective way. This is the time to build that app, start that business, Create that solution. This is the time to be like the celebrities and the athletes and the singers that you admire. This is the time for you to become creative and be passionate about something that you desire, that you wanted to do, that you want to study in college, and to create that for yourself online.
That hit it right there. That hit the nail on the head. Now, one thing that I always ask every guest that comes on is, in your journey, have you had any blunders when it comes to your own career path? Have you had literally look back and go, that wasn't the best choice?
Very good question. I always feel like setbacks are always setups for success. You know, even when you look at your bad decisions, I always think like, you know, fail forward. You know, if you're going to fail, you might as well fail forward. Don't let a failure be something where it pushes you backwards. So that would be, you know, my advice is to don't be scared of setbacks and failure. So I would say the decisions that I had probably had made in my career is, I was talking to a coworker of mine this morning, and not receiving advice from older people of wisdom within the workplace. I was young. I thought I knew it all. I thought I was like, you know, I'm smart. I got this college degree. I got all this great experience. I have this, you know, great GPA. What I've learned now is to receive whatever somebody that has wisdom in the workplace within your career, whether somebody is trying to mentor you, somebody that's trying to drop some gems, to really receive it. Even if you don't implement it, be an active listener to it. You know, sometimes because we don't agree with their advice, we just like, whatever, like, I'm just going to do me. I would say if I had to change anything in my 20s, and even towards my late 20s and early 30s, is that I didn't receive good advice well, because I looked at it as I should have been looking at it as constructive criticism instead of somebody trying to criticize me.
That's an important one. I know I was having a conversation with my oldest daughter, and I was like, you know, if I would have taken the advice when someone told me, when I was graduating high school, get a duplex. I think everybody heard this same advice though. Get a duplex. You live in one and rent out the other.
Yeah. That's another thing that I think for people in the Black community, I don't think that we have really maximized understanding how to build wealth. And building wealth is really so important. You know, if we really would take a look and stop trying to be flashy and trying to like floss all the time, the flossing is in good credit. The you know, bling blinging is in real estate. The bling bling is in your 401k. Really understanding that, and understanding that if you got good credit, you can get anything that you want, even if you don't even make that amount of money to afford it. They will give it to you because you understand how to respect money. Then that will take you a long way. But one thing that back to your question, is that I really think in my career that I struggled with was workplace forgiveness. Workplace forgiveness. Let's talk about it, right? When people carry workplace hurt, it totally stops you from growing within your career. When you have a bad manager, you have a bad workplace experience, what it does is, it's like, you know, in my book, I talk about you have to build your brand by dating jobs. Some of us women have been in bad relationships, and what we do is we carry that pain into the new relationship. People do it within the workplace. They go from one bad job, they carry that bad job hurt into the new job or with the new manager. And what it does, it stops you from being engaged, transparent, open to grow. So I would tell anybody, even though you're in a bad situation at work right now, and even if you're in a bad situation and you're working from home right now, make sure that when you start looking for that new job, that you leave all that at the old job.
This has been absolute fire. Kanika, I want you to let them know where they can find you at on social media, how they can get in contact with you. Because I know they're going to have questions like, okay, it's time for me. Do I switch up? What do I do? So they're going to be looking for you.
So you guys can reach me at kanikatolver.com. That's my website. If you guys are interested in career coaching or interested in learning more about my webinars and online programs, you can reach me at kanikatolver.com. on all social media networks. My handle is Kanika Tolver. So I'm on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel where I drop weekly career coaching advice videos as well. And, just hit me up. If you want to order the book Career Rehab, you guys can order this 5-star rated book on Amazon.com for the month of April. The ebook will be $199. After April, I forgot what price it goes back to, but if you guys want to get it between now and the end of April, it'll be $199, but you can get the paperback, audiobook, and ebook on Amazon.com.
I love it. Oh my goodness, guys. So I hope y'all took notes. If not, go back and listen to it again. Make sure you leave a review. Make sure you share it with an entrepreneur that you know, because there's somebody somewhere that needs this. This is why I love doing what I do, guys. This is why the Speak Easy podcast is here, so that we can bring you guests from all over, all walks of life. And I didn't even get in, we didn't even get into the nitty gritty of her resume and bio. You got to look in the show notes to see the bio, because then you really going to know who you just heard on this episode. With that being said, again, guys, we want to know how this particular episode resonated with you. bit.ly/Speak Easy podcast show. Listen, I might even have to bring her back on after COVID is done, so that way we could do a part 2. Because I know.
I would love that. The new norm, right?
The new normal. We're going to have to bring her back on. So super excited, guys, from me to you. I appreciate you, because there would be no Speak Easy podcast without the Speak Easy podcast listeners. And I am your host, Alcides Pelzer, your voice manager. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.